Hello, good morning. We are doing our new healing meditations session. If this is buffering, please let me know. October 9th for our daisies is those who don't read have no advantage over those who can't. Wow, that's some words of wisdom there. Good morning, good morning. I am reading now from the Woman's Book of Courage. Oh, it's by Sue Patton Tolle, I would guess, is Thoele. I have to send somebody the author because they like this book. Excuse me. Allergy season. Until this is about deserving love. Until we really believe we deserve to be loved, chances are we will not draw healthy loving to us. Maybe as a child we were told we were bad, or maybe we assumed we were unacceptable from the treatment we received. Until about the age of 7, children feel everything that happens to them, or even around them, is their fault. As adults, we rationally know that we were not unlovable as children, that our parents and other important adults did the best they could, considering their own hurts. But we know, excuse me, but we know, no, but knowing we are lovable needs to register in our hearts as well as our minds. Alice, well loved by her friends and family, always had the nagging feeling that someday everyone would realize they were mistaken about her and leave. I heard my mom talking. She uncovered the reason for her feeling during a visualization when she vividly remembered a nun having her, for some minor infraction, fill a notebook page with "I, Alice, am a bad girl." Wow. A nun, to help heal the label of bad which plagued her all her life. Alice brought into her visualization a warm and kind mother figure who erased the original sentence and encouraged Alice to write, "I, Alice, am a good girl." Because the concept of deserving love can be one of our most vulnerable areas, the home of some of our deepest fears, it takes a great deal of courage to look at our feelings of lovability. Therefore, we need to notice when we hear ourselves saying, "Oh, well, maybe I don't deserve love," and become a loving and reassuring mother to our inner child. The kind of mother we all dreamed of having, always affectionate, available, and accepting. It is never too late to have a happy childhood. We can become loving parents to ourselves. So, our affirmation for today is, I am lovable. We are lovable. We deserve to be loved. We are loving and reassuring. We are a mother, we are a loving and reassuring mother to our inner little girl or boy, if you're a boy watching. You don't have to be a girl to be courageous at all, and to embrace your inner child and love her, guide her or him, either one. So today on the language of letting go, October 9th is self-disclosure. Learning to gently reveal who we are is how we open ourselves up to love and intimacy in our relationships. Many of us have hidden under a protective shell, a casing that prevents others from seeing or hurting us. We do not want to be that vulnerable. We do not want to expose our thoughts, feelings, fears, weaknesses, and sometimes our strengths to others. We do not want others to see who we really are. We may be afraid they might judge us, go away, or not like us. We may be uncertain that who we are is okay or exactly how we should reveal ourselves to others. Sometimes, if we've been very sick all our lives, we don't even know who we are and what we want and what we like. It's like a whole journey of self discovery, always. Being vulnerable can be frightening, especially if we have lived with people who abused, mistreated, manipulated, or did not appreciate us. Little by little, we learn to take the risk of revealing ourselves. We disclose the real person within to others. We pick safe people and we begin to disclose bits and pieces about ourselves. Sometimes out of fear, we may withhold, thinking that will help the relationship or will help others like us more. That is an illusion. Withholding who we are does not help us, the other person, or the relationship. Withholding is a behavior that backfires. For true intimacy and closeness to exist, for us to love ourselves and be content in a relationship, we need to disclose who we are. That does not mean we tell all to everyone at once. Good morning. Oh, thank you so much. I really want to connect with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being you. I want to connect with you about the diatomaceous earth. That was you that told me about that, right? I've got some. So do you have an email you could shoot me at my free flow for love 369 at Gmail? I've got a huge bag and I want to know how you use it because I'm getting all kinds of different information and I really want to start using it. Oh, great. It says it was held for review, so it didn't even go to everyone. Thank you so much. Let me write that down. All right. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Gotcha. That's great that it gets hidden because then not everybody has it. All right. Awesome. So let me start. Where are we here? We don't have to tell all to everyone, but we have to have, a trusted friend. That can be self-defeating behavior too. We can learn to trust ourselves about who to tell, when to tell, where to tell, and how much to tell. Oh, yes, I can't wait to start talking about this stuff. I got somebody that I really think they would benefit from it too, as well as myself. To trust that people will love and like us if we're exactly who we are is frightening, but it is the only way we can achieve what we want in relationships. To let go of our need to control others, their opinions, their feelings about us, or the course of the relationship is the key. Gently, like a flower, we can learn to open up. Like a flower, we will do that when the sun shines and there is warmth, where we feel good. That's a good feeling, huh? So today we will begin to take the risk of disclosing who we are with someone whom we feel safe. You must feel safe with someone. We will let go of some of our protective devices and risk being vulnerable, not valuable, vulnerable. Vulnerability is where you find your real courage. Even though we may have been taught differently, even though we may have taught ourselves differently, we will disclose who we are in a way that reflects self responsibility, self love, directness, and honesty. So, Divine Creator, help us let go of our fears about disclosing who we are to people. Help us accept who we are and help us let go of our need to be who people want us to be. We can be uniquely and authentically us always without having to try to impress others. It doesn't matter if they don't like us, that's their problem, right? That is their problem. We can still, it's their loss, not ours. If they can't value and appreciate and love us for who we are and they want to degrade us and stuff, it's time to walk away from people that make you feel badly. Absolutely. Healthy boundaries, healthy boundaries. So, and until today, by Iyanla Vanzant, I will realize my own worth when I accept I have the power to convince myself that I am good. This is about our worth still. See how all this resonates together? How do you learn to believe in yourself if you haven't been taught that you are worth believing in? How do you find the words to say to yourself the things that you have rarely, if ever, heard about yourself? How do you learn to do for yourself the things you have never been taught you are worthy of having done for you? How do you stop doing what hurts you when you haven't been taught how to do anything else? Well, you just do it. You do it until you believe it. You do it until you feel it. You do it until you can't stop doing it because you know you are worth the effort. I want to add that when I had to first start writing affirmations in a treatment in New Leaf in Peoria, Illinois, it was a 45-day, very rigorous treatment. It was more rigorous than any other. And my counselor was a beast. She would make me turn in 5 affirmations every morning. And when I first started writing them, and then we had to practice saying in the mirror, it was very, very hard. It was hard. And when I would start saying, I am worthy, looking at myself in the eye, in the mirror, and saying those things, which I had done in prison, but looking in the mirror and doing it, it is absolutely hard. It was very hard. But the more you do it and the more you say, I am lovable, I am worthy, you're not bad, I am good, I am, because lots of the time, like we even say it to the dog, right? So if we're saying it to the dog and we're saying it to the children, the dog understands still too. But the children, if they grow up thinking that they're bad, it really does a number on them. Like we have no idea how powerful our words are on children. And I'm sure with grandchildren now, you've learned different things to say, right? It's by the time we're at that age and we've grown and learned so much more, we know so much more when our grandchild, which I don't have a grandchild, but I could understand where I'm at in my mindset now in my life than when I was very young and had a child, because I had my kid when I was 18. Yes, it's so hard. So if we're not speaking loving to ourselves, yes, absolutely. If the way I speak to myself is how I'm going to project onto other people as well. So it's our own insecurities that we project out into the world and to others. And when we stand knowing who we are and believing, yes, it's very hard. It's a process. Absolutely. I sure wish I knew what I know now then, because it would be so much easier. But our life experience is what it was for a reason. For the greater good, there was a divine purpose behind everything. So, in order to believe in and experience your own sense of worth, you need to make a decision that you are worth believing in. Then you tell yourself just that. You must find the words to capture all the things you need to hear and whisper them softly to yourself. Sometimes you need to write a letter to your inner child. I think that was in the book, in the group I was in, the Velveteen Rabbit, which was unleashing your authentic self. Hello, thank you for the likes. Good morning. You must ask yourself what needs to be done to make you feel stronger, better, and brighter. Once you figure out what those things are, you do them for yourself. If by chance you discover along the way that what you are doing is not helping you to believe something better about yourself, stop. Do something else. If it's not making you feel better, try a different approach. Do something that makes you feel good and look good and brings you closer to realizing the truth that you are good. You are good. You are worthy. You are capable. You are loved. So all these cute little cards I get at good morning, good morning, good morning. I get these at the Family Dollar. And so yesterday I just wrote a little card with positive affirmations and just set it in my kid's room. And she never even said anything. I'd imagine she found it because I put it right where she sits and does those things. But I just want her to know that thing. Yes, yes, we all are, aren't we? We're beautiful little stars, little light beings. I know, I know. I'm so sorry that you lost your mother. I know that is such a painful thing. Even losing my grandmother, I couldn't imagine losing my mother now. My mother and I are so close, so close. Obviously, we live together. So, and we're making, stuff like that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, beautiful souls. We're right on our worth today. We're talking about writing, journaling. Yes, it's very hard. It's very hard, but it's healing too. And it often brings tears. When I had to write letters to my inner child and stuff, it brought tears. I wrote letters of forgiveness to the people that hurt me the most, and it brought lots of tears. I did not send that to them. It wasn't for them. It was for me. It was for me, and it's healing. Crying is absolutely healing. Google that. There's nothing about weakness in crying. It's very courageous. Healing. So find the words that to say what you need to hear. Find the way to do what you need to have done. Do it because you are worth it. Do it because you deserve it. Do it because you believe in yourself. Do it because you want to demonstrate that what you believe about yourself will attract others to you who will help you along. Until today, you may have believed that you did not know how to do what you need to have done. Just for today, do things for yourself that will convince you that you deserve the best, that I deserve the best, that we deserve the best. Good morning, everybody. Oh, goodness, we deserve the best. Isn't that wonderful news? So, today we are devoted to convincing ourselves that we are worth the effort that it takes to make ourselves feel good. That's why it's important to take your bath and don't just go through it, you know, and love your body. Even you think that since I've gained or since I weighed 200 pounds and now I'm at like 125, I probably weighed 185, then I went down to 155, then up to 165, and then I've stayed pretty steady right now. And you think I don't see like extra little fat and cellulite and say, oh my gosh, that I still have that stuff. Absolutely, I do. I have to pinch the inner thigh and say, oh, that's got to go. Or, I have to love my body, the temple of the spirit that we have here. It's very divine, and take very good care of it. Absolutely. Yes, we learn every single day. Absolutely. It's a process, right? It's a very big process. That's why I love that book, The Language of Letting Go, so much. She's great, I think. Melody Beattie is absolutely awesome. Codependency. Her book, Playing It by Heart, was great about her addiction. All right, so I'm jumping back to, because we're still working on forgiveness. We're doing this month. So we are now willing to forgive ourselves for engaging in actions and behaviors we now believe are unforgivable. Are there things you feel in your heart you cannot forgive yourself for doing? Things you've done in moments of weakness, things you've done in response to fear. Perhaps there are things you have said or done in anger that caused harm to yourself or others. Things you believe or have been led to believe are so horrible you can never or should never be forgiven for them. Has anybody been told that? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Good times are great. And ride waves through the triggers and the memories that do come forward. You just have to welcome them and then release them. Let them go. Do you still hold yourself accountable for the lies you have told? Are you holding yourself hostage for the acts you committed because you simply did not know what else to do? Many of the lies I told were out of shame, my shame. I didn't want people to know these things, so I kept it a secret. If any or all of these are true for you, know that you are not alone. It's the major things we consider unforgivable, things we do that cause harm to others. In my addiction, I hurt my child very much. I was very sick. I was very abused. So now I have another chance to make it right. Things we do when we are at a loss about what to do, but are afraid to admit it. There are things we do without thinking that have a disastrous impact. Absolutely. There are things we do for revenge. There are things we do for money. There are things we do that dishonor and demean ourselves and others. These things, the things we consider unforgivable, are the very things we need to forgive ourselves for doing. The things we hold against ourselves rest heavy on our hearts and eat away at our sense of worth. Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. It makes you feel so much better, doesn't it? Self forgiveness helps you more readily and ably forgive others. Oh, hello. Good morning, everyone. With an open and willing heart, you can be freed from the prison of self damnation. If you sit still long enough and think about it hard enough, you will remember all the things you have resisted forgiving yourself for doing. Until today, you may have wrestled with thoughts and feelings of unworthiness. You may have convinced yourself that there were things for which you could never be forgiven. Just for today, open your heart to yourself, for yourself. Forgive yourself for everything you have thought, said, or done that you may have told yourself could not be forgiven. So today we are devoted to forgiving ourselves for our own resistance to forgiving ourselves. Forgiving yourself is very important. See, we're even into day 10, which is tomorrow, 10 portal energy. Everybody's going to be getting amazing downloads and healing, beautiful healing. And you forgive yourself. She goes all the way. This whole month is about that. Forgiving yourself frees you up. It makes you feel so much better. So much better. When you can start learning and speaking affirmations with assertiveness, with conviction, knowing, yes, beautiful. All of us, we're so beautiful. All of us, each in our own unique way. The beautiful light shining without us. We're healing. We're saying positive affirmations and seeking peace. Oh, yes, this is important. So, this is Inner Peace for Busy People by Joan Borysenko. She's a PhD, Boryssenko. So, keep track of your energy reserves. Your energy is very precious. You need to use it very, very wisely. We all have not unlimited. We don't need to drain our energy and be using it all over the place. It's very important to balance. So, one January, I went to the Caribbean to teach a relaxing week-long personal growth program. The waters were a superb shade of aquamarine. Ooh, that sounds beautiful. The sunsets were magnificent, and I was a crispy critter, exhausted and disheartened. I traveled more than 200 days the previous year with too little support on the work and home fronts. Then, over the Christmas holidays, a longtime employee had left under the most difficult circumstances. I had spent my precious time off fielding phone calls, getting my taxes ready, and finally hiring and training a new staff person. Busy to the max, I had failed to keep track of my energy reserves and found that the well had run dry. One afternoon, my husband and I went for a sail with some of the people from the group. A vivacious redhead by the name of Donna and I got to talking. As women often do, we went straight to the heart of the matter. A corporate trainer and coach, Donna was used to a heavy travel schedule, but she learned to manage it. At one point, she leaned in close to me and took my hand. Do you know that the life force is almost gone from your eyes? She said. I could only nod affirmatively and sniffle a little. Would you let me help you? She asked. Dr. Donna, as she is known, became my friend, corporate consultant, and self care coach. How beautiful. One of the most important things she asked was elegant in its power and simplicity. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is empty and 10 is full, how full is your well? I knew immediately what she meant. Was I joyful, creative, rejuvenated, and frisky? Or was I despondent and dragged out? I answered immediately, I'm sucking mud. Ha! This I knew from a long training and experience as a mind body medical researcher and psychologist was dangerous ground. My immune system was at a low ebb. My muscles were achy, and I felt poised on the brink of physical disaster. I was a poor advertisement for mind and body health and centered living. By failing to pay attention to my energy reserves, I had let myself wander into hazardous territory. When your energy is depleted, you're not going to be a very good coach. The well scale gave me a handle for recovery and a way to stay honest about taking care of myself. Awareness is the prerequisite for change. Realizing that you're at the bottom is a wake up call. You have two choices: to rise or to die. Those are pretty distinct choices: to rise or die. Rise and shine. Oh, yes, I know. Forgiving yourself is so not easy. Absolutely. But we have to. We have to learn how to love ourselves and know that we did the best we know how, right? We did the best we knew how at that time, right? And until we know better, we can't do better. So once we start knowing better, then we can do better and we can be more loving and forgiving to ourselves. Oh, but trust me, forgiving myself for being I was a very sick mother. I was in addiction. It was very, very sick. I made some very, very poor choices. Very sick. It was all the abuse. So I decided on the former. She decided she's going to rise. That book, Rising Strong by Brene Brown, is very, very good book, and Daring Greatly. I also committed to staying alert to my energy levels so that I wouldn't use up my reserves, run on empty, and risk either emotional or physical disaster again. Because when we're running on empty, we take it out on others. We're not at our prime. We're not doing our best at all. During the period of extreme stress that had led to sucking mud, I did exactly what most people do when their backs are against the wall. I regressed, bounding out of bed to deal with the office meltdown. I neglected to eat until late afternoon. I grabbed anything that was convenient. As my sons say, I ate a balanced diet from the 4 food groups: candy, cake, pies, and cookies. Nonetheless, I lost 5 pounds. This is called the high stress diet. For a person who normally favors liberal quantities of food and vegetables, poor eating is a danger sign. I had gone into survival mode. Exercise, which above all fills my well, was a thing of the past. It happens to me when I fall. I couldn't tear myself away from the office. The only positive coping strategy that remained was the support of my husband and the love and counsel of good friends. If I have a single favorite gripe with God, it's this: good habits are so hard to form and sustain, while bad habits are a breeze. Most of us have times when we forget everything we know about taking care of ourselves, and then we have to pull ourselves up from the bootstraps. So reform was mandatory. I started exercising again and eating well. Several times a day, I would check the well scale, and once a week, I'd report to Dr. Donna. Hey, I'm a 5, I'm a 7, or even a 10. Over the next several months, it became clear that 7 was the cutoff point for feeling peaceful. Below that, anxiety and obsession kicked in, and creativity was hard to tap into. Excuse me. Fancy scales aren't required to measure your stress level, although many of them exist. The simplest way to find out how you're coping is to draw a horizontal line on a sheet of paper. Mark the far left point 1 and the far right point 10. Then put a vertical line wherever you think it belongs to represent your stress level. Research shows that this simple measure is as good as the sophisticated scales. The well scale is really a vertical version of the same thing, but I think it's even more powerful because it's such an engaging and positive metaphor. Your objective is to fill the well and stay aware of exactly where you are. When my well drops below 7, a mental alarm goes off. That's a good number too. Energy reserves are getting low. I know that I need to do something rejuvenating, or I'll start a downward slide. Restorative things fall into 2 categories. 1, things that you can do immediately, such as taking a walk, adjusting your breathing, doing some stretching, getting into a hot shower, having some fun, talking to a friend, cuddling up with your pet, and the like, or whatever. If you don't have a pet, whatever you can cuddle with. And 2, developing long-range life strategies. Some of the long-range strategies that worked for me revolved around 2 more scales. When deciding what jobs to take, they had to fall below a 7 on the SCHLEP scale, SCHLEP, a measure of wear and tear. Going to India is a 10. Having someone drive me the 2 hours from Boulder to Colorado Springs is a 1 on the SCHLEP scale. So I learned to make less stressful choices. Then there was the service scale. How did a particular job match my vision of service? Running a retreat for cancer patients was a 10. Consulting on the development of graduate programs was a 1 on the scale. Developing my vision and realizing what my time was worth led to other changes. I hired more staff and put an end to driving home from the airport late at night, contributing to public safety as well as personal peace. This week, start keeping track of your energy reserves. Try using the well scale. At least 3 times a day, determine how full your well is. What is the cutoff point when you start to lose steam and feel overwhelmed? Figure out what raises the water level for you quickly and take action right away when you need to revive yourself. Right away, you'll start knowing the things. You'll start noticing. I notice the things that when I start to get depressed or when I'm feeling real low one day, I just make myself get up out of bed and at least get through the day. There are days, and I struggle with oh, that's beautiful, beautiful, awesome. I'm so glad I'm helping people. It makes me feel really good, and I love your comments. I really do. You guys lift me up too. Absolutely. I'll see a comment later in the day, and it just makes me smile. It makes my heart smile. I smile really big. So they really help me. You guys help me so much. I'm so glad that the things that help me so much help everybody else. So try using the well scale. At least 3 times a day, determine how full your well is. What is the cutoff point when you start to lose steam and feel overwhelmed? Figure out what raises the water level for you quickly and take action right away when you need to revive yourself. Taking a 10-minute walk instead of returning to the next phone call can change the course of your entire day. Once you have a handle on immediate ways to fill the well, you can begin thinking about long-term strategies. While many people can't afford to hire a coach, everyone can do a little reciprocal coaching with a buddy. My own good friend, Cheryl Richardson, has written 2 best-selling books that can get you started. Take Time for Your Life and Life Makeovers. Her online newsletter, which you can subscribe to, is at www.cherylrichardson with a Y, CHERYL, Richardson, just how it sounds.com. It is also very valuable. So that's beautiful. I like that book. It really helps. Yes, I'm a half, yeah, half glass half full kind of person too. Even my grandmother, who's 83 and has, I know she is. I know. I actually have connected with her. Her and I have been texting, and I build her up. She's a beautiful soul. I know she's been going through it. Oh, I know. I connected with her text. I just got chills because of that. And so I keep letting her know that she's loved and I'm very proud of her, that she's doing the right thing. Yes, she's a very beautiful soul and she is going through it. But I keep telling her, I said, I'm very proud of you. I told her it's you. I said it's you who amaze me, and I sent her my little book that I read about It's You Who Amaze Me. That one's, I think, my most popular video. If you click on videos and then do most popular, it pops right up at the top. She is amazing. She's a very beautiful soul, and yes. Some people are really going through it. They're making very hard decisions, but it's for their good. Yes. So I actually will send her a text as soon as I hang up because she really needs built up more than anything right now. But she's going to get through it just fine. And I keep assuring her that it's all going to work out. Yes, yes, yes. She's a good girl. I like her. It's called It's You Who Amaze Me. Yes, you who makes me proud. It's actually here. Hold on, I'll show you the book. It's a children's book that I found at Salt and Light. And just the title, I wasn't even there looking for books, that it was just sitting out on a stand by itself. And it's a children's book and it's so cute. So I'll just read the back of it so you'll know. It says, It's you who amaze me, you lovers and losers, you teachers and listeners, you faithful and hopeful spirits of playfulness, wisdom and strength, you who show up every day and dance. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. It helps lift people up. I send it to people who are really struggling, and I know they're having a really hard time because I know that there are lots of people who aren't looking at the glass half full. They're going through very serious shifting and changes, and they're making really, really hard decisions. So, above all else, I think people need lifted and boosted up and just reminded how amazing we all are, how unique and beautiful and precious and capable and worthy and just divine. We are divine spiritual beings having a human experience. And some of our experiences are not comfortable. Some of them are very hard decisions, and some of them require a little bit extra touch of love from people who care and want to lift others up just as much. So that's my whole goal when I read that book. And there are the other one's called The Little Soul in the Sun by Neil Donald Walsh. That was a cute little book about forgiveness. And these are children's books. And since I always say I'm speaking to the children and I always wanted to teach the children, those are very good, positive books that if they can do that for a child, they can do it for our inner child. I will. Everybody go look in the mirror, write your affirmation. You can even write it on the mirror with a dry erase marker and it'll wipe right off with tissue. You can write one thing a day. I had to write 5 a day every morning, and they had to be turned in to my counselor every morning before she got to work at 8 o'clock. So I had to. And when she was gone on the weekend, did I sometimes run behind and have to make a double one? Yes, I did, because it was hard to do at first. It was very hard to do. So now everybody go look in the mirror and put on a beautiful song that makes you feel good. That's your prescription for the day. And dance. And then you can start your day and just focus on the goodness, focus on the beautiful things that are starting within ourselves, because we have to work on our half and us. And that is your positive affirmations for the day. That's your prescription. That's my prescription. And we're gonna go and just love ourselves, learn how to embrace our inner child. And yep, I always say nothing beats a failure but a try. So we know if we always do our best, which is in the 4 agreements folder, the whole book, do your best, then you can't do better than your best. You give it your best shot each and every day. Rise strong. Listen to Rise by Katy Perry. Beautiful, beautiful song. Or one of my favorites is Rise Up by Audra Day. And she says, I see it in you, so we gonna work it out. It's a beautiful song, and we're gonna move mountains, is what she said. So I'm here to lift people up, and people lift me up, and we can just keep getting lifted higher and higher. So I will be back probably after a bit. I do want to finish practicing peace in times of war, but I am waiting for my mother, my grandmother, to call, and I'm going to go for a walk real quick. I'm going to go take the dog for a walk and have a little break. And then I'd like to get back and finish that. We didn't do our one day, just our soul just opened up, because I was with my grandmother yesterday. But we did do the Stage of Time. If you guys aren't following that, that's a truly amazing book. It puts into perspective a lot of the stuff that's been hidden from us, hidden, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful realization that is hard to believe sometimes. So you guys have a blessed and beautiful day. I love you all so much. I thank you so much. I send beautiful love and light all over the world to everybody out there, healing, working on self-love and self-forgiveness, because that is what makes us who we are, and able for love to flow freely. We're free flowing for love to give it to everyone. So you guys have a blessed and beautiful day, and we will see you again later. I love you all so much, and I'm so proud of each and every one of us. Absolutely. We are doing fantastic. Love you.